Warning, this video contains animals caught in a trap. Some content may be disturbing for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. What is up, guys? Beautiful February afternoon today. It's about mid-30s. A little bit of a wind blowing, wind gusting, as you can tell. As I'm talking here, of course, it's got a gust a little bit, but I'm out setting traps today for raccoon. Something I've wanted to do for a little bit is come up here at the family farm and set traps for raccoon. I know in the last recent years we've seen a crazy amount of raccoon out here, and I've also seen the turkey numbers really struggle from when I was a kid. Well, I don't think that coon and other, nest predators or just predators in general are to blame totally for that. I think that it's got a lot to do with turkey numbers being down, is just the fact that nobody traps or really hunts predators. You don't have as many guys that are running hounds or running traps as you used to, just because the fur market's way down and traditions are kind of dying a little bit. But anyway, out here today, hopefully thin the coon numbers down a little bit. I got 4 more traps to set. I bought a half dozen of them, and I put 2 out last night after work, and so we'll check those at the end of our little set session here. Oh, give her, bud. So my goal, obviously, you can hear all the road noise behind me here, is I'm gonna try to set these as close to the road legally as I can. Obviously I want to keep them out of sight from people, just because people can get kind of weird seeing an animal in a trap, and I don't want to put a bad image in anyone's mind. But I've got work to do and other things to do throughout my day other than just walk around and check traps for half the day. So I'm gonna set them in spots where they're easy for me to pop in and out and check. Hopefully, it'll only take an hour or 2 for me every day before work to come in here and check them right away in the morning. These are dry land sets, so you gotta check them every day. So yeah, anyway, that's the plan. Just be as fast, efficient as possible, still hopefully get some coon taken out, thin the area down a little bit, and more importantly, just kind of have fun doing it. I mean, I know I learned a lot coyote trapping with Tony, just about tracking and the way different animals are moving around the place, and that's kind of the goal with this too, is just to keep learning and evolving as an outdoorsman. And if you're somebody that just likes deer hunting or just likes turkey hunting, you don't have to just do that. I think coming out and just being outside, interacting with other animals is just going to help you all around as an outdoorsman. So anyway, I'll show you guys this trail here, get a trap set, and then get on to the next one. So as you can tell, got this trail coming in off the highway down there, kind of going right along the field edge. As you look in it, you can see some fresh coon tracks. I can see their toes and everything like that. So there's a good track right there. So anyway, I'm probably gonna set my trap just right off the trail over here, and they'll probably, if they get stuck in the trap, go into that little spot there and hide. They'll have a little cover away from the highway where people can't see them and they feel a little safe. They're not gonna sit there and freak out the whole time. So that's the plan with this one. Another little hot spot here. Got this trail coming, crossing. I'm sure they're following this creek a little bit, but there's a ton of tracks right here. They're going out to the field, coming from back over here behind the farm, and there's a good trail right here, and it intersects with another trail that kind of runs up along here on the other side of this brush between there and those round bales. So probably set a trap right here, and I'll set another one up there. And the trap I just set before is way out up there by the highway. So trying to be as efficient as possible. Obviously there's a ton of activity here. There's a couple deer here too, but I'll set my trap right here just off to the side of it, and any coon that's coming down this trail should happen to smell it. We've got a lot of south winds this week, and this right here is on the south side of the trail, so any bait, you know, all my bait that's sitting here as they come by, they shouldn't have any problem smelling it and finding it. So we're back on the trail that I was talking about before. I just set that last trap about 20 yards away from me, and now we're up on the other one. There's a ton of coon tracks on this too, and I'm going to set it right here on the west side of the trail, southwest side of the trail. That way predominantly wind is going to be blowing across it, and they're going to smell the bait. I don't think they would have any issue finding it anyway. But as you can hear, the farmer's doing his chores over here, but I thought I'd run through my setup quick. I've got a T3 dog-proof trap, and then I have it connected down here to this Wolf Fang cable stake. And what you do is you just take your driver and put it right here on the bottom of that stake, and then drive it down into the ground, and then when you get done you pull on it, and that'll make the end of this stake here be parallel with the ground, and you pull it up, and then that's where you get your resistance where animals can't pull it up. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways you can do it. I've used stakes in the past, just rebar stakes with like a nut welded on the top, or I've even seen guys just cable them off to a tree. I have seen before where if a coon can like get to a tree at the edge of its cable, it can like sit there and pull with the free hand on the tree and try to pull that hand out, so that kind of freaks me out a little bit. And yeah, anyway, I think this is just probably the lightest setup you can run is one of these cables. You know, a lot of those rebar stakes, if you're walking around with just a backpack like I've got, or a sled, and you're pulling stuff around, just a lot more weight. I mean, I'm only carrying 6 traps, so it's not that big a deal, but I've got them anyway, so might as well use them. So with all that freezing and thawing going on right now, these traps have a stake on the bottom of them right here, and with the ground freezing and thawing, I don't want to put it in while the ground's thawed and then have it freeze up on it. So what I'm going to do is take this driver here, which is a lot bigger of an end than this just little stake, and I'm going to pound down a hole to put that in, and then it'll just kind of loosely fit in there, and it won't freeze solid, because if a coon gets his foot stuck in that and it's just frozen there and he can't pull it out and swivel around, and he can just pull straight against it without, you know, this moving a lot, better chance he's going to get his paw out of there. So just take this probably right here, right where this trap can reach. I'm just going to make a little hole. Doesn't have to be crazy deep, and then my trap can just loosely sit right there. And I'm just covering up that dog in there, or I'm just covering up that trigger in there, so they got to kind of reach down in there and dig for a couple things, and then they'll get caught. And I'll put just a little bit here around the trap. Maybe throw just a couple pieces out over here by the trail and get them leading right to it. And hopefully we'll have a coon in there tomorrow morning when I come check this one. Well, it is the second day on the line this morning. It's kind of a gray, damp, dreary February day. Kind of feels like one of those false springs that we get up here in Wisconsin, where you get that warm weather that's a little early and everyone starts thinking it's springtime, but then it's like Mother Nature comes back with a brutal month. So walking up to the first trap here, you can see I've got a camera sitting over it right now. Don't see, oh, actually we do have something. At my first spot here, and it looks like we got one. A couple little coon trails coming off the highway that all intersect right here. Like 3 different trails that all converge right here coming off the highway, and this is really the only spot where I found that there's a good number of trails or tracks coming right here. There's a couple other spots here and there where there's like one set of tracks, but this is really consistent. You can see I actually have a trail camera right there on video mode, so hopefully we have some cool video of this guy getting in there. Beautiful crisp morning today. It's kind of cold, ground froze overnight. Walking up to my first set here, and I actually have a double. That one looks like it got in here maybe a little bit later. Other one's a little bit muddier. Looks like he's maybe spent a little time trying to get out of there, and then this one looks pretty fresh, so